my channel. Okay, sorry. So today, so I wanted to do like 2 videos. I wanted to do a before and after, and what this is before I get on this plane. That's this video, and I'm gonna do it after I got on the plane. This video shouldn't be too long, but it is something I wanted to document, number 1, and number 2, it's something I wanted to put in the atmosphere, and I wanted to get some feedback and opinions on it. Whether I do or not, I do, or I don't. It's one or the other. So recently I've decided to take a trip, and when trying to find the cheapest airline tickets, we found United. So that's not really the concern. The concern comes in, and regardless of whatever plane I would have been on, they have certain size seats, right? So I haven't been on a plane since I was, I don't know, it was at least, I think it was 2011, so it was about 6 years ago. So I haven't been on a plane in a really long time. So once I actually decided to do this and I bought the plane ticket, I started, mind you, this was probably a week or 2 ago, I started freaking the fuck out. Like, when I tell you I was freaking out, I was freaking out. I was subconsciously thinking about it 24/7. I was trying to measure my ass. I was trying to search and Google and text every plus size person that I know or anybody that's a little heavy and ask them if they've been on a flight recently. Like, real fear, you guys. Like, not kidding. So I've read articles and articles and articles and articles and watched so many videos here on YouTube, and I could not once find a video. Whatever I have to do to be able to put that out there is what I want to do. Why? Because I literally spent probably 2, 3, 4, 5 possibly days looking up, Googling, am I going to fit in the seat? Too fat to fly. To this. And then like literally every article, every blog, every thread, every YouTube video I saw only talked about like tips for what to do. Hey, get there early, and hey, do this and do this. But they gave you like the solution almost, but I don't know if it's a problem at this point yet. So I don't, like, they're giving me solutions, but I don't know if there's a problem or not. My own solution was to buy an extra seat, but I also want to try to let you guys know ahead of time if you're gonna fit or not. Because right now I'm like a size 22, 24-ish. You guys have seen my videos. You guys know how wide I am, how thick I am, how big my butt is. I show all of you guys that all the time. Like, you know how big I am. So you guys know that you can compare yourselves to my body. And then when I put the later portion of this video up, because I'm going to upload them separately, when I put the later portion of this video up, you guys will be able to see. It'll just give you a comparison. I just want something out there on the internet that is going to come up in a search result for, am I too fat to fly? And I want it to be something that is actually comparable. Like, if I have to call it, compare yourself to me on the plane, then I'll call it that. Like, I don't care. This is truly just about something like, so, it's like so frustrating to me that, like, I don't know. I could fit in the seat and be completely comfortable. I have no idea. I may have to open up the armrest and scoot over a little bit to be comfortable. I may have to, you know, just pull up the armrest and just let some of my fat hang out. I don't know. I don't know. And that's why it's so frustrating and so annoying. But I want to be able to make sure that I can bring you guys, I don't want to say bring you guys, but I want to be able to make sure that I can give an answer. I can put this out in the atmosphere, and I can hope that somebody sees it. And that's basically all I have for today, you guys. I just needed to talk about that. I wanted to let it out and wish me good luck, and I'll make sure I let you guys know, and I'll upload the video when I get back from my trip. Alright guys, talk to you later. Bye. I could not once find a video of something that actually helped me. What I was looking for specifically, and this is what I want to give to you guys in this video, is, well, not this one, this is the pre, but the after is when you'll get it. What I want to give you in that video is the answer I was looking for, and the answer I was looking for is how big is this seat in real life? How am I going to be able to fit into it? I literally, the one thing I wanted more than anything is I wanted someone to have a picture of the seat and like them in it basically. So I found videos where people were like, oh, I had 2 seats. And then they sat in the seat and then they put the armrest up. So they were sitting on the airplane and they're like, hey, I'm in an airplane. You know what I mean? But it wasn't what I actually wanted. What I actually wanted was, am I going to be able to sit in this seat and be okay? That's what I wanted to know. So they tell you the dimensions, they tell you how big they are. I know plus size people, and I asked them like, hey, you just went on this trip, hey, did it fit, blah blah blah. Everyone's like, yeah, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're not that big, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be fine. But I remember on my last trip, I remember sitting in the seat and I was like, oh, this is awfully tight. And I remember my mom was next to me. We put the armrest up and I was like, huh, okay, I'm good. So that's where the fear comes in. So my solution to this, I bought an extra seat. And the reason I bought the extra seat was for peace of mind. Do I have the extra money to spend? Absolutely not. But I had to have peace of mind. And that was way more important to me than any money that I was going to be spending. So what I want to do is I want to record myself in the seat. I want to record what it looks like on me, on my body, and I want to make sure it's on the internet, basically, long story short. And the reason I want to do that is because, again, I saw plus size people. I saw plus size people getting in the seats. I saw people sitting in the seats, but there was no actual footage of someone sitting down into a seat and seeing like how much space was there, how much space wasn't there. And that's something that I want to make sure that I can do. Whether, I don't know if I'm allowed to use my phone on the plane. I don't know any of this stuff, but worst case scenario, if I have to take a picture, I have to take a picture. If I can bring my camera, I'll bring my camera. Like whatever it is I have to do so I can make sure. Hey guys, welcome back. So this is part 2. I already recorded part 1. I was gonna upload it, but I decided just to upload everything together so everything's together and makes sense. This is the flying while fat second portion when I came back from my trip. So we're gonna talk a little bit, okay? Because the first part of this video I talked about how I had so many insecurities. I was so scared. I was so worried. Well, I've gone on my trip. I've been on the plane. I've been through all of that. So not too sure what I talked about in that portion of the video. I'll know it once I watch it again. Obviously, I just don't know right now. So I'm going to speak without knowing what I said in that video. But I do know that I did want to give you guys some answers. And the reason I say that is because, as I already explained, I know that much, is that one thing I could never find on YouTube, Google, Yahoo, whatever it was, any search domain, I couldn't find an answer to what I should be doing as far as like my fear of flying while fat, right? So I'm here to tell you today to number 1, relax. My anxiety was so high and so built up and so freaking out, and like I thought like walking down the aisles were gonna be like tiny and microscopic, and I was gonna be walking like this and I wasn't gonna be able to fit, and I had a lot of fears. So I'm here to tell you guys now, number 1, relax, because it's gonna be okay. Number 2, I fit in the plane seat. Now when I say I fit, I barely fit in the plane seat, but I fit in the plane seat. I did purchase 2 tickets. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but I did purchase 2 tickets. Coming home though, they actually put somebody in my extra seat, which I was actually okay with. Not okay, obviously, because I paid for the seat. I'm dealing with that now, but I was okay as far as like comfort wise. So it's kind of interesting. So my biggest problem, which isn't even a problem, was the seatbelt. So I didn't want to ask for an extender because I wanted to be able to accomplish what I, wanted to be able to accomplish. So if you've been watching my videos, you know I have very large belly, if you will. So, oh man. So sitting in the seat, right? I'm going to show you some visual demonstration here because I really do want this to be beneficial. Hopefully you guys can see. So I'm on a stool right now, but sitting in the seat, and I will insert pictures as well so you guys can see. Sitting in the seat like this, the armrests come down basically like right here, right? So they come down right here. Now when you pull the seatbelt, like it's probably going to come to about right here, okay? So what I had to do was I kind of had to do this and pull it under, pull the seatbelt under this way and click it in. So my seatbelt was kind of resting right here underneath, okay? So if you don't have a big belly bottom part, you'll be okay. If you do have a big belly bottom part, you have one of two options. You put it under your belly like I did, or you get a seatbelt extender. I did not want to ask for a seatbelt extender. Not out of pride, not any of that stuff. I honestly just didn't want to deal with it. I wanted to get on the plane. I wanted to be left alone. I already had, you know, a fear of flying. I haven't flown in so long, so I just didn't want to deal with it. But I was able to buckle the seatbelt. So, what I'm going to tell you now, and this is why I said, like, I wanted to be a little bit more beneficial. So I will insert pictures again towards the end, or probably at the end of the video. I'll put the pictures that I took of myself on the plane. I did not take a picture of the seatbelt and how it sat. Like, I regret that. So I do apologize for that. I will be flying more though. So any of that stuff that you guys want to see, I will make sure that I do it. But walking, number one, you guys see my body on my page, on my channel here. I've tried on tons of tops, bottoms, everything. Like, you guys know how big I am. So my waist and hips measure like 60 inches. I think my hips are like 61. I think my waist is like 60 or 59. So like I have a very wide circumference here. And I think that's why I was so worried personally. So I will tell you this much. If you have a waist that's 60 inches or above, or 60 inches, a base waist of 60 inches to sit in the seat, you will be fine. Now again, I'm going to stress this. When you sit into the seat and you put the armrest down, it's tight. It's not uncomfortably tight, but it's tight. And you're going to have like a little bit kind of squished in, right? So if you open up the armrest, you'll obviously have more space, okay? Now, ideally, most people, not everybody, but most people don't fly alone. Most people go with at least one other person if they're taking a trip. So if you are a larger person as well, and when I say larger, I don't mean like extremely large. I mean like a 2x, 3x, possibly even 4x large, right? So, because sometimes when you do get to that point where you're wearing like a size 30, size 32, you're probably going to just have to, you know, buy 2 seats and, you know, face that fact, obviously. But when you're like an average plus size between like an 18 and 24, 26, there's a lot of fears that come with that because you're kind of like, okay, I think I'm going to fit. I don't know if I'm going to fit. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want people to look at me. I don't want people to judge me. So my advice to you is if you're traveling with another person and you're comfortable with that person, buy your one seat. You open up the armrest. You may or may not possibly get a seatbelt extender. That easy, okay? If you are traveling alone, you have to be okay with the one seat because it's all that's going to be required, okay? You get a seatbelt extender if deeming necessary, or again, you just do what I did, right? Or, I don't want to say or. I take that back. You get your one seat. You may or may not be able to lift the armrest with the passenger next to you. Now, on my flight back, when they threw that person in that seat, I opened up the armrest to make it easier for him to get in. And we ended up keeping the armrest up the entire flight. So I wasn't like squished in or anything. So it's a little bit more comfortable for me. I wasn't like overlapping in his seat. I wasn't doing any of that. Another thing you have to think about also is like your shoulders, because, you know, plus size girls, we got, you know, broader shoulders and stuff too, because everything up here is just kind of bigger. You know, your whole frame's basically bigger, obviously. So that's something you have to keep in mind too. What I did, just so I wouldn't be in his way, was I kind of just, you know, sat, you know, kind of turned a little bit. But I'm pretty sure, like, I don't think it was torturous for either one of us. And the reason I say it is because I knew I wasn't too uncomfortable, and I knew that I would, like, I kept, like, doing this, like, looking, because I just wanted to make sure, like, I wasn't in his space, basically. But it was a lot of overthinking. It was a lot of unnecessary fear and worry from me. I asked so many, like, everybody I know that's plus size, I asked them, I'm like, hey, how did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you fit? How did it feel? Did this happen? Did this happen? Like, I asked so many questions. And, like, I don't want to say I felt silly, but when I walked on the plane, my first thought was, this ain't that bad. This ain't that bad at all. And then I walked, found my seat, and I sat down. And when I sat down, I was like, I'm good. That's exactly how I was. But then I realized, you know, I have this whole seat next to me too. So I opened up the thing, and, you know, I was able to widen my legs a little bit and, you know, do this and do this. But, like, really, like, I didn't need that seat. So, like, for the little bit of, like, extra space that I got of me, like, opening my legs a little bit wider and stretching and, you know, maybe, like, putting my leg over there, like, was that necessary? Absolutely not. Now, if you are a bigger person, if you are bigger than me, if you have a waist and hips and everything that's over 60 inches, if you wear, I would say, probably a size 26 and up, and just, again, depending on how big you are, because everything is, like, basically going to be from your waist to your leg, or from your waist to your knees, I would say, or from, like, your chest to your knees, because this part right here is the part that matters on the plane, right? So, like, when you sit down, like, it just depends on, like, where you're proportioned in weight, you know what I mean? So, like, if you're a size 26, 28, and you have if you have smaller hips, you have a smaller butt, you have a smaller stomach, but you have a big chest, you got big thighs or calves or whatever it may be, you may not need the extra seat. You may not need the seatbelt extender because your waist is smaller. If you have big arms and a small waist, you know, that's something you may want to think about too, because it's like, okay, like, because, you know, sometimes when you got, I mean, I know just with the arms I have, like, I stick out a little bit. But sometimes if you have even bigger arms, like, that's more, you're going to be taking up more space. So unless you're okay with, like, kind of doing this or whatever it may be that you're doing, just be aware of how your body is. And my biggest advice is, if you're traveling with anybody, don't even freak out about it. Like, honestly, because, like, it's really simple. Open that up. And then both of you have, you know, a little bit extra wiggle room. You don't have to worry about the armrest. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It can just be, you know, like you're sitting on a couch, basically. Because if you're traveling with this person, they're not going to care. So that's honestly my advice to you. My advice overall, number one, is to calm down, because it's really not worth it. I truly, 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 from the bottom of my heart, did not think I was going to fit in the seat. I thought that I was honestly going to spill over into the seat next to me and all this other stuff. And, you know, when you walk up to the counter and you tell them, like, oh, I have 2 boarding passes, and, you know what I mean? It's just, like, a really uncomfortable situation, because they kind of, like, look at you, they kind of don't look at you, they're kind of confused. Some of them say okay, some of them are like, oh, you don't have to do this, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you know, it's one of those things. So if you're, like, an average plus size girl, I'm telling you right now, in half the videos that I've watched, the people don't need extra seats. And this is coming from me, somebody that literally got off a plane like 4 days ago and had somebody sitting next to them and the whole 9 yards. It's completely unnecessary. So before you start freaking out, just calm down, take a breather. Again, you guys know how much I weigh. I wear pant size 22. I weigh 284 pounds, I believe it is right now. And I'm 5'6". And I have like a 62-inch hip, I believe, and like a 60-inch waist. So, and that's large. Majority of the people, now I don't want to say majority of the people, but there's a lot of plus size women out there, and especially ones I've seen videos that make videos about flying well fat. A lot of them are a lot smaller than me. So I'm personally here to tell you that the seat's not necessary. If you have like an immense fear of sitting that closely next to somebody, by all means buy an extra seat. Southwest, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, Southwest, if you do purchase 2 seats, they'll refund you for the second seat when you come back. A lot of other airlines don't do that. But yeah, that's what I have on that. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. If you have any questions about my experience, if there's a specific question that you want to ask me, if it's something I didn't answer, if it's something I didn't help you with, please, 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 please let me know, because I guarantee you I'll probably have an answer for you. I may have just forgot about it, may not have brought it up, but I will make sure that I insert the clips right after this. So stick around and make sure you watch those. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and show me some love and support. Is the red button down below, and give this video a like if it helped you in any way, shape, or form. I truly appreciate it, guys. All right, talk to you later. Bye.